you gotta follow through on the inspiration that you get when you're doing your planning and strategy, when you're doing your meditation and motivational practices. You've got to follow through on the inspiration that you get, because action is a huge part of attraction. In fact, out of that 10-letter word, attraction, action is 60% of the word. 6 out of 10 letters of attraction is action. So we got to talk about following through. I'm Sensei Victoria Whitfield, founder of strategicmeditation.com, where I, as a trained Reiki master and master coach, support stressed out, self-employed, awesome people like you releasing that stress so that you can focus and follow through and serve the people that you are called to. It's all about increasing your energy so that we can increase your income and impact. So this is our 4th episode of exploring the 2nd chapter, discussing the 2nd chapter of Napoleon Hill's Outwitting the Devil, The Secrets to Freedom and Success. This is the sequel to his famous book, Think and Grow Rich, right? Shout out to you if you're a fan of Think and Grow Rich like myself and members of my community. We are reading through this book because this book is about that angel and the devil on our shoulders, right? Especially the devil of self-sabotage, where we stop ourselves from moving forward. If you get in your own way, this book is for you. And that's why we are reading it and discussing it. And after reading chapter 2, my spirit guides told me to relay this message to you. Follow through immediately. How fast? Immediately. Type that in the comments below. Immediately. You gotta follow through on the inspiration that you get. So my clients share a thing in common, is they do the right thing, but the wrong way. So I serve self-employed people who are spiritual seekers, right? So we do, if you're anything like me and my clients, we do meditation, we go for retreats, we love numerology and tarot and energy healing and holistic health and all of that good stuff, right? We balance our chakras, practicing yoga, clean eating, right? We're holistic people. And as self-employed people, we do all of the holistic stuff as a form of self-care. And I want to zero in especially on meditation as the right thing that you may be doing the wrong way. The right thing, but you may be doing the wrong way. Because as a self-employed person, yes, it's stressful having to get out there, put yourself out there, market, advertise, sell, do the business operations in addition to deliver on your product, program, or service, right? You gotta take home the bacon and fry it up too. And with that, the average self-employed person who has like that conscious, like energy aware mindset, right? Holistic mindset. The average person will turn to meditation as a form of stress relief to check out, right? And so you may have it as a checkout on the high end or a checkout on the low end. And I'll explain what that means in a second. But either way, you're doing the right thing, but the wrong way. As far as what I've seen from my experience over a decade working with hundreds of different self-employed people who are energy sensitive. So on the low end to check out, to just get stress relief, just get it off of your mind, the low end checkout of meditation is basically meditating to zonk out. It's almost like a glorified nap. I would give an example of this as basically any kind of shavasana, right? The meditation at the end of a yoga class where you just are supposed to quiet your mind or just, go somewhere like and enjoy nothingness. And that is beautiful and restful and restorative. Great. And as a self-employed person, you've got to make sure that you make money. If you don't work, you don't eat, in the words of James Brown, right? So if you're meditating, oftentimes it'll only be in relation to your own personal time, right? Your off hours, something you do in your free time that is nurturing for your soul, but has nothing to do with the business. Okay. So that's on the lower vibration, not lower as in bad, but you just check out to like conk out, like basically kind of go to sleep to escape the stress or relieve it. And then another form of meditation is on the higher end, and that I would classify, I would sneeze. Hello, tree pollen. So on the higher end, I would classify this as like a Tony Robbins meditation, where you're doing it, and you're so grateful, and you're excited, and you're ramped up, and now you're so excited that you don't care about being stressed anymore. You're just energized. That kind of caffeine approach to having a meditative practice, or you're crying about something that happened when you were 3 years old, right? The Tony Robbins miracle morning kind of get into peak state type of approach to having a meditative practice. That is also checking out, because that form of meditation, it similarly to the lower one, both completely detach you from what's the source of your stress. And that is good and important and restorative. And there's another way to meditate that actually helps solve the stressor rather than just kind of detach or avoid or separate from it. And that's why I developed strategic meditation. Because when we meditate in a certain way, where yes, you're relaxed, the produces, yes, you feel uplifted, but the object of the meditation is to get insight, you now have a target for you to go and hit to solve the problem of whatever is stressing you and draining your energy. Does that make sense? Right? And I've developed a 6-step process for being able to do that. And I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. But my spirit guides are saying that you need to follow through on the insights that you've gotten. Maybe you are meditating. Maybe you did go for a walk and you got I should call this person. Or you had a dream, I should do this event. Or, I should do this, right? But how many ideas have you gotten, insights, hunches at random from your higher self, or as Napoleon Hill is going to say in a minute, your other self, or from spirit or the angels, whatever you're calling it? How many of those great $1 million ideas, to give them a label, have you gotten and then forgotten? And because of that, didn't get to follow through on. I've noticed the more masterminds and networking events I attend, the more people are just excited to ideate and to just generate ideas. They're not excited to do the follow through. And right there with you, doing the work, it's work. Be kind to yourself if you feel heavy energy around that. But the spirit guides are saying you need to know you got to follow through on these ideas. Stop writing them on Post-it notes and shoving them into your purse or putting them in your coat pocket and then nothing. It's time to follow through, because there's a whole nother version of you that will come out, that you will meet in the execution. Now let's get to the reading from Outwitting the Devil, Chapter 2 of Napoleon Hill's sequel to Think and Grow Rich. He says, I obviously had undergone a new birth by which I had been separated from all forms of fear. I now had courage such as I never had experienced, despite the fact that I had not as yet been shown how or from what source I would be able to secure the necessary funds which I was seeking. I had such absolute faith that the money would be forthcoming that I could see it already in my possession. Right? He meditated. I proceeded immediately. I proceeded immediately to carry out the instructions I had received. All feeling that I had embarked upon an impossible mission had now left me. One by one, I began to call into my mind the names of all my acquaintances I knew to be financially able to supply me with the $25,000 which I needed, and starting with the name of Henry Ford and going over the entire list of more than 300 people, my other self plainly said, keep on searching. The darkest hour is just before the dawn. But I had come to the end of my rope. My entire list of acquaintances had been exhausted, and with it, my physical endurance as well. I had been at work concentrating my mind upon that list of names for the better part of 2 days and nights, having stopped only long enough to sleep for a few hours. I leaned back in my chair, shut my eyes, and went into a sort of doze for a few minutes. I was aroused by what seemed to be an explosion in the room. As I regained consciousness, the name of Albert L. Pelton came into my mind, and with it a plan which I knew instantly to be the plan through which I would succeed in getting Mr. Pelton to publish my books. I remembered Mr. Pelton only as an advertiser in the Golden Rule magazine, which I had formerly published. I sent for a typewriter, addressed a letter to Mr. Pelton at Meriden, Connecticut, and described the plan just as it had been handed over to me. He's talking about in his meditation, in his download, that insight, that he answered by telegram saying that he would be in Philadelphia to see me the following day. When he came in, I showed him the original manuscripts of my philosophy, and briefly explained what I believed its mission to be. He turned through the pages of the manuscripts for a few minutes, then stopped suddenly and fixed his eyes on the wall for a few seconds and said, I will publish your books for you. The contract was drawn. A substantial advance payment on royalties was given me. The manuscripts were turned over to him and he took them back to Meriden. Tying this back to following through. Napoleon Hill followed through how fast? How fast? I repeated it 3 times. Type it in the comments below. How fast he followed through? Immediately. Type immediately in the comments below. He followed through on receiving that insight from his intuition, from his spirit, that download of like, you got to do this. Ask for a $25,000 investor. Okay, racking through his brain until he's exhausted, falls asleep. Next download, Albert L. Pelton. Okay, immediately, typewriter, sent the letter, got the telegram back, boom, and the money was in his hand within a couple of days, right? It was, I think, it looked like it was about almost 48 hours. From inspiration to cash in hand. Are you taking immediate action to anchor the insights that you're getting? Because if you're meditating to check out, to conk out, to relax, or to get excited and to bliss out, you're doing the right thing, you're meditating, you're connecting to source consciousness, you're doing the right thing, but the wrong way. why wouldn't you want to connect to source consciousness to get, what's the next play in the game, coach? What's the next play in the game? Boom. Insight. All right. Now we're going to run it. Get out on the field. Grab the ball. Take it to the house. Right? Are you following through, or are you just having fun, generating ideas, or is it just entertaining and pleasurable and relaxing, like a vacation that you're taking? Because if you meditate in a certain way, such as strategic meditation, which is a 6-step process for generating the game plan, the play, every single time, not random flashes. I love Napoleon Hill, but he wasn't doing a strategic meditation. So it just happened to occur to him. You don't have to just rely on things being random. There's a way to do meditation where it generates insight on demand every single time. With that, you gotta follow through though. Even if you're meditating now, you're talking to your angels, your ancestors and stuff, and you get ideas for your business, ideas for your relationship, ideas for your health and your wellness, your nutrition. But if you're getting all of that insight and just either forgetting it or writing it down and then putting it away as shelf help ain't gonna pay the bills, right? He got that cash in hand because he followed through. The card of the day, therefore, is the 8 of Earth as a challenger. The 8 of Earth, which is the 8 of Pentacles. It says, skilled work is rewarded. Learning all there is to know about a topic, going back to school. I'll read. Your heart, and so upside down means what? We're resisting this, right? 8 is about ebb and flow, abundance, cycles, and infinity. Earth is all about, for short, money, for long, time, money, energy, space, and relationships. So it's our resources, right? That's what the Earth suit or Pentacles is all about. Unpause. We're resisting. Your heart is in your work or studies. You've committed to learning about your career, vocation, or project. You're definitely on the right track. Your dedication, skill, and talents are appreciated and will soon be rewarded. Still, there's more to learn. Consider taking classes related to your interests or profession. A serious commitment to study or research is now called for. It may be time to go back to school. Additional meanings of this card: craftsmanship, apprenticeship, diligence, attention to detail. My spirit guides are saying you still have work to do. It's not all about you coming up with a gajillion ideas and starting a new thing every 5 seconds or every day, every month, every week, every year. Be kind to yourself. Don't start anything new until you've finished what you started. Follow through. If you said you want to speak to this person again or that you'll call them, keep your word. Reach out to them. Make sure that you follow up with them. If you said you want a speaking engagement, circle back to your previous ones. Follow through. If somebody worked with you and you want to continue working with them, or you wish you had more people like them to work with, follow back with them and thank them and tell them that. Follow through. You have a million awesome good ideas, but an idea is worth nothing without the action to back it up. Action is a huge part of attraction. It is 60% of attraction, right? Law of attraction and manifesting, we're like thinking and we're strategizing, we're visualizing, we're feeling, and we're getting into state, and we're so connected and clear, and we're making plans to strategize about plans and strategies. You're not going to actually manifest the thing. You're not going to actually attract the thing unless you take action. And so we come now to the end of this video, and you may be thinking to yourself, okay, Victoria, I got to take action, but I don't feel like it. I don't feel, okay, it's upside down. So you're doubting that your hard work or any more action that you take is actually going to pay off, right? That's the 8 of Earth upside down. Like, I'm not going to take action. I don't feel like it's going to work this time. It's time for a strategic meditation. If you have not yet joined our Be Visionary movement on the school platform, now's the time, because you need this strategic meditation of the day. A strategic meditation is done first before the targeted action is taken to make sure that you have the right next step for you. Your unique need is made clear. Your unique action step is made clear in a strategic meditation. And so how you join is you go to skool.com/BE Visionary Movement, all one word. Type that, or you could click on the description or the page wherever you're watching this, so that you can do the strategic meditation of the day. Because if you don't feel like your next action is going to be a success, you're right. Whether you believe you can, or believe you can't, you are absolutely right. I'm pretty sure Henry Ford was known to say that. So for those of you who are members, thank you for being a part of the movement. Thank you for being visionary, being one who sees the way forward and connects the dots, takes the action to make it happen. Thank you for being visionary. And you're going to open up your meditation tracker of the month. If you're following along, this is the 4th one. Open up the search bar in our portal and type New Moon Magic Forest. That is, again, type in the search bar, New Moon Magic Forest. New Moon Magic Forest. Search for that in our vault of visualizations. All meditations, strategic meditations made by entrepreneurs, for entrepreneurs. So that is 21 minutes per day. And what you're going to do when you do the New Moon Magic Forest meditation is going to shift your feeling state. It's going to shift your energy and your feeling state in relationship to following through and taking action, right? The new moon is a really potent time to put something out there in a brand new way. And this meditation is designed to help shift your state so that you feel in alignment with going for it, right? And following through on the inspirations that you have been receiving. Make sure you're doing the right thing, meditation, in the right way this time. If it speaks to you, I'm super duper grateful to celebrate you in this moment for staying to the end of this video. If you had, I humbly ask you go ahead and tap the like button so that the algorithm knows that this was valuable content, this was worth your time. Thank you for coming to the end. And if you want my help with following through on your ideas, as well as being able to discern what's the right one to follow through, go ahead and reach out. Go to victoriawhitfield.com/contact. If you're one of our members of the Be Visionary movement on the school platform, you can send me a DM and say, hey, Victoria, I think I'm ready for a session. But if neither one of those appeal to you, just comment the word session below and I will reach out to you in a DM to set that up. Mwah. Remember, you do not have to lose your glow as you grow in life and business. See you next time.